Okay, so to start off Monday, I just want to show people who are not here how to create a repository so that way we can keep track of our changes and make sure that our project is in a place that is visible to at least me so I can check your progress. You can check your progress. We're using GitHub. You're finally going to understand why we had you learn GitHub and create an account. So here I have just logged in. I can go to just my profile. You might arrive at this spot if you just logged in. So all we're going to do on our base GitHub profile is go on over to this plus sign over here. We're going to create a new repository. And so here you can type in, vets in tech project, something like whatever you want to name it. If you want to name it what your project is actually called, by all means. Here you can have, this is my final project. And now right now, we do not want to initialize this repository with a README because it's just a lot easier if we just do it ourselves. So I'll show you why I'm saying that. If I click create repository with no initialized README, then we get this prompt. You would not get this prompt if you initialize the repository with a README. It would just take you to the base repository with just that README in there, so this might be a little confusing. So that's why I want you guys to just not initialize a README file, because you can just come here and literally just copy, and now we'll go to VS Code. So this is deleted, like I said, I was just testing this out, making sure this worked, but if I type in ls, we have no directories. I'll type in mkdir showcase. Now I'll type in ls again, now we have showcase, cd showcase. So now I have in my clipboard those commands that I have, right? So I type in ls as a brand new directory. If I just hit Control V, Command V, it will actually enter those commands and then leave me with this last command here to enter in myself. So if you actually look right here, it says first commit, and then it says one file change with one insertion. So we created a README just by doing this, right? So that's why I didn't want you guys to initialize a README, because the code that they provide in this prompt already adds a README on this line. So now with this last line, I can just hit enter. And so it says that we wrote some objects, we have a new branch, so on and so forth. So what does this mean? That means that you can come back to this page after you've entered in all of these bash commands, and you can refresh this page, and now we have our README. But the important thing is, if I come in here and I create files such as example.html, example.css, and example.js, and I type in ls, I can do git add, and you can either do the all flag, this is called an all flag, or you can just do the dot. This technically isn't a flag because it doesn't have the hyphen. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Seth. So yes, we have access to this git add command or the git add flag. So I'm just used to hitting the one key. I hit enter, you'll see nothing show up. We'll do git commit, and now we'll pass in an M flag, and then in between quotes we have our commit message. Hit enter, and now we see once again that same thing that says the files changed in the insertions. And then we can do git push, which will actually send these changes up to our website. So now we refresh this page. We have an example of all of these files. And so if you wanted to bring in, I'll do this right here. I was learning R. If we go to galvanize, and I will do this over here. If I just touch HTML2 and I come here, see we have HTML2. If I grab this, or I cut it, or I try to cut it, and I drag it in, so okay, there we go. Now it's decided to work. If I bring it in here, see, so now we have this U, because this is a GitHub repository. If I type in, so all I did, just to recap there real quick, all I did was just create a blank file, and then I dragged it into my GitHub repository, which is showcase. So now we have it inside of here. The same thing. So if you've already started work, the reason I'm showing this to you is because if you've already started work, you can still do this, and you can type in git add, get not a parent, not a git repository. Okay. Oh, because I'm in the wrong place. Don't do what I did. Jeez. So you come in here and you type in git add. This is a git repository. Git add, git commit, lull. If you can type. See, so now you can see right here it says that one file was changed and we have this new file. This is what I was trying to show you guys. Sorry about that. So now we just type in git push. And so I didn't create that file at all with the command line, right? All I did was just simply create it in this blank directory, and then I dragged it in. So again, if you guys have already started working on something, you can drag in the work that you guys have done. And then once you do the git add, git commit, git push, again, the same thing over here. If we refresh this page, we have that new file. And so this is when we could actually add the boilerplate and so on and so forth. But as long as we actually have our repository here, that's all I really wanted to show you guys and get you guys working on. So here, if you wanted to actually get your user stories in, you can go to code, and we have our README here. You can just do hashtag user story 1. When a user logs in, it works. Oh, so we do git add, git commit, example, git push. For some reason, my markdown not working. My markdown isn't working because this hashtag is showing up. But here you can see kind of an example. We have our user story input into our README. So now we have an online version control system set up for our project, and that way, if you needed help from me or something like that, I could easily just go to your repository, and then I could go through your code and see exactly where that error is occurring, or so on and so forth. So I just wanted to make sure I recorded that real quick for the people who aren't here, because otherwise all I want you guys to focus on is just getting those user stories and then working on achieving those user stories. So I'll stop the recording.